My phone rang at 11:47 p.m. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer, then something made me pick up. "Sarah?" My father's voice, barely a whisper, terrified. "Sarah, don't say my name, just listen." My heart stopped. "Dad, what?" "I'm not sick." His words came in a rush, low and urgent. "There's nothing wrong with my brain. Your brother bribed the doctor. They're lying. Marcus is trying to lock me away and steal everything." I sat up in bed, adrenaline flooding my system. "What are you talking about?" "The Alzheimer's diagnosis, it's fake. The brain scans are fake. Marcus paid Dr. Brennan $50,000 to say I'm incompetent. I found the emails, Sarah. I saw the payment receipts. They're planning to put me in a memory care facility in Arizona tomorrow morning and drain all my accounts." "Dad, that's insane." "I know how it sounds." His voice cracked. "But I heard Marcus on the phone tonight. He thinks I'm asleep, but I heard everything. Dad won't remember any of this," he said. "Keep him sedated, transfer the money, sell the company. By the time anyone questions it, we'll have $2.3 million and he'll be locked up in Arizona." My hands started shaking. "Where are you right now?" "Marcus's house. He's keeping me here. Says it's for my own good until the facility is ready. Sarah, I'm not confused. I remember everything. Yesterday's date, your birthday, Mom's maiden name, the address of our first house, everything. But they have a diagnosis. They have power of attorney. They have brain scans that show I'm sick." "Then we go to the police." "No!" His whisper turned sharp with fear. "Marcus has legal power of attorney. He has a doctor's diagnosis. The police will look at the paperwork and think I'm a paranoid old man having delusions. That's exactly what Marcus is counting on." A door opened in the background. Dad's breath caught. "He's coming. Sarah, listen to me. The proof is in Dr. Brennan's office. The real medical files, the emails, the payment records, everything. You have to get them. Tonight, before they move me tomorrow." "Dad, I can't break into a doctor's office." "Then I'm dead." His voice broke. "Not literally, but everything I am, everything I built, it's gone. Marcus will lock me in that facility, keep me drugged, and I'll rot there while he spends my money. Sarah, please, you're the only one who can save me." Heavy footsteps in the background. Dad's voice dropped to barely audible. 3847 Medical Plaza, 3rd floor, Suite 302. The files are in the back room. I'm begging you." The line went dead. I sat in my dark apartment, phone in my trembling hand, heart hammering against my ribs. Either my father had Alzheimer's and was having paranoid delusions, or my brother was trying to rob him, and I had about 6 hours to prove it before Dad disappeared to Arizona. I looked at the clock, 11:51 p.m. Then I got dressed, grabbed my car keys, and made a decision that would either save my father or destroy my life. 12 hours earlier. The neurologist's office smelled like antiseptic and lies. Dr. Richard Brennan sat behind his massive desk, my brother Marcus standing beside my chair like a guard, and delivered the diagnosis with practiced sympathy. "I'm very sorry, but your father has early-onset Alzheimer's disease, stage 2, progressing rapidly." I stared at the brain scans on his computer screen, colorful images of my father's brain, areas highlighted in red and yellow, indicating severe abnormalities. "How is that possible?" My voice sounded distant. "Dad's only 68. He runs a construction company. Last week he helped me fix my kitchen sink, walked me through the plumbing like—" "Lucid moments are common in early stages," Dr. Brennan interrupted smoothly. "But, Miss Harrison, the deterioration will accelerate quickly. Within 6 months, your father will need full-time institutional care." Marcus's hand landed on my shoulder, squeeze of sympathy, or warning. "That's why Dad and I came to see Dr. Brennan last week," Marcus said, his voice heavy with manufactured concern. "Dad's been forgetting things, getting confused. We needed answers." "I don't understand. Dad never mentioned being confused." "Because he's embarrassed, Sarah. This is hard for all of us, but we need to be realistic about Dad's care, his safety, his finances." Dr. Brennan slid papers across his desk. "Your father signed these this morning. Power of attorney documents. Marcus is now his legal guardian for all medical and financial decisions. The words hit me like a slap. He already signed them without talking to me? Dad wanted this handled quickly, Marcus said. He doesn't want to be a burden. He trusts me to manage his care, the business, everything. Something in his tone felt wrong, too smooth, too rehearsed. I want to see Dad now. He's resting at my house, Marcus replied. The appointment exhausted him. Give him a few days to adjust. A few days? If he's sick, I need to see him immediately. Sarah, Marcus's voice hardened. You're a teacher. You have your own life. I can handle Dad's situation. The business needs to be sold. I have a buyer offering $2.3 million. Dad can't run Harrison Construction anymore. You understand that, right? My stomach dropped. You're selling his company? For his own good. The money goes into a trust for his care. Marcus leaned down, his face close to mine. Everything is legal, Sarah. Everything is documented. If you want to fight me on this, hire a lawyer, but you'll lose. He walked out. I sat there, Dr. Brennan watching me with cold, professional sympathy, and felt the world tilt. My father, my sharp, strong, brilliant father who built a company from nothing, who never forgot a promise or a birthday, who had taught me to change a tire when I was 16 and quoted Shakespeare when he was drunk at Christmas. That man had Alzheimer's? Or that man was being stolen from me and I was supposed to just accept it? I stood, legs shaking. I want copies of those brain scans and his full medical file. Dr. Brennan's expression didn't change. You'll need written consent from the patient or his legal guardian. Marcus would have to authorize that release. Of course he would. I left the office and sat in my car in the parking lot for 20 minutes, hands gripping the steering wheel. Called Dad's cell phone. No answer. Called his landline. No answer. Drove to his house. Empty. Locked. His truck gone. He'd vanished, and Marcus had all the legal power to make him disappear completely. Now, 12:47 a.m. I parked 3 blocks from 3847 Medical Plaza and stared at the dark building. What I was about to do was illegal, breaking and entering, theft. If I got caught, I'd lose my teaching license, face criminal charges, destroy my life. But if I didn't do it, my father would disappear into a memory care facility in Arizona by tomorrow night, and I'd never see him again. I pulled on dark clothes, gloves, grabbed a flashlight, and the lockpick set my ex-boyfriend, the locksmith, had left at my place. Got out of the car. Walked toward the building like I was walking toward the edge of a cliff. The service entrance in back had a basic lock. I used a credit card to slip it, something I'd seen in movies, never thought I'd actually do. The door opened. Inside, emergency exit signs cast green shadows. I found the stairs, climbed to the 3rd floor, my heart beat so loud I was sure someone would hear it. Suite 302, Dr. Richard Brennan, Neurology. The office door lock took 15 minutes to pick. My hands shook so badly I nearly dropped the tools twice. Finally, click. I slipped inside. Used my flashlight to navigate past the reception area, through the waiting room, into the back offices. Found the file room. Rows of locked cabinets. Found the H cabinet, picked that lock. Harrison, David, my father's file. I pulled it out, hands trembling, and opened it on the floor. Brain scans, test results, the Alzheimer's diagnosis. And underneath, my blood turned to ice. A payment receipt, $50,000 from Marcus Harrison to Dr. Richard Brennan. Date, 3 weeks ago. Memo, consultation services. Email printouts. Marcus, can you make the scans look real? Brennan, I have templates from actual Alzheimer's patients. I'll match them to your father's baseline. No one will question it. Marcus, timeline. Brennan, 2 weeks to establish diagnosis, 1 week for power of attorney, then immediate transfer to memory care facility in Arizona. Once he's in Arizona, you'll have complete control of his assets. More emails, more evidence, a timeline showing Week 1. Initial fake diagnosis, check. Week 2, power of attorney signed, check. Week 3, sell Harrison Construction, $2.3 million, in progress. Week 4, transfer patient to Arizona facility, check. Week 5, liquidate remaining assets, $800,000. Week 6, patient develops complications, family grief. Patient develops complications. They were planning to kill him, make it look like his condition deteriorated naturally, keep him sedated and confused until his body gave out. My hands weren't shaking anymore. Rage steadied them. I photographed every page with my phone, every email, every receipt, every piece of evidence. Then I heard it. Voices downstairs, the main entrance opening, footsteps on the stairs. "Told you she'd try something," Marcus's voice, getting closer. "I've been watching her apartment, saw her leave at 2 a.m. dressed in black. Where else would she go?" "Dr. Brennan, if she gets those files—" "She won't. We're here first." They were coming to the 3rd floor, coming to this office. I looked around desperately. One door, one window overlooking a 3-story drop. The office door handle rattled. I shoved the file back in the cabinet, killed my flashlight, and did the only thing I could. Ran to the window, unlocked it, opened it, and climbed out onto the ledge. 3 stories up, 6-inch ledge, nothing but concrete below. I pressed myself flat against the brick wall and pulled the window almost closed behind me. Inside, lights flicked on. "Marcus, check the file room." Footsteps, then Brennan's voice. "The cabinet's been opened." My heart stopped. "Is anything missing?" Rustling papers, long silence. "I don't think so. Everything's here." Then where the hell is she? I was 3 stories up, pressed against a brick wall, listening to my brother hunt for me like a predator. Maybe she got spooked, ran before she could take anything. Or maybe she's smarter than I thought. Marcus's voice was cold, calculating. "Doesn't matter. By noon tomorrow, Dad's on a plane to Arizona. Even if Sarah makes accusations, it'll take weeks to investigate. And by then, Dad'll be too drugged to testify coherently. The plan doesn't change." "What about your sister?" Silence. Then Marcus laughed, a sound that made my blood freeze. "Sarah's a high school teacher. She plays by the rules. She won't do anything crazy. And even if she does, who's going to believe her? I have power of attorney. I have a doctor's diagnosis. I have everything, legal and documented. She has nothing." They searched the office for 10 more minutes. I stayed on that ledge, 3 stories up, wind cutting through my clothes, fingers going numb. Finally, "She's not here. Let's go. We have a plane to catch in 9 hours. Lights off, door closing, footsteps receding. I waited 20 minutes, shaking from cold and terror, before I climbed back through the window. Got to my car.
Sat there, looking at the photos on my phone. Evidence, proof, everything I needed. And 9 hours before they put my father on a plane and disappeared him forever, I called 911. "I need to report an emergency. Elder abuse in progress. My brother is trying to kidnap my father based on fraudulent medical documents, and they're leaving the state in 9 hours." The operator's voice was calm. "Ma'am, I'm going to connect you to Detective Services. Please stay on the line." This was it. No going back. War with my brother. But my father had called me at midnight, terrified, begging for help, and I'd rather destroy Marcus than let him destroy Dad. The detective answered. "This is Detective Sandra Hayes. Tell me everything." So I did. 6:45 a.m., Marcus's house. Detective Hayes, 2 uniformed officers, a social worker from Adult Protective Services, and I stood on Marcus's front porch. Hayes rang the doorbell. Marcus opened the door in his bathrobe, coffee in hand. Saw the police, went white. "What's going on?" Detective Hayes handed him a court order. "We're here for an emergency welfare check on David Harrison. We have a court order for immediate independent medical evaluation." "This is absurd. My father has Alzheimer's. His doctor is under investigation for fraud. Step aside, Mr. Harrison. Now." We found Dad in the guest bedroom. He was groggy, struggling to sit up, clearly over-medicated. But when he saw me, his eyes focused with perfect clarity. "Sarah," his voice was slurred but determined. "You came. You believed me." I grabbed his hand. "Every word, Dad. Every single word." Marcus stood in the hallway, phone pressed to his ear, calling lawyers, face twisted with rage and panic. The independent neurologist arrived from Stanford Medical Center. Dr. Patricia Chen spent 2 hours examining Dad, 2 hours that felt like years. Finally, she emerged. "Mr. Harrison shows 0 signs of cognitive impairment. His confusion is consistent with over-medication from unnecessary psychoactive drugs. The brain scans from Dr. Brennan appear to be fraudulent. They're inconsistent with this patient's actual neurological presentation." Detective Hayes looked at Marcus. "Marcus Harrison, you're under arrest for elder abuse, financial exploitation, fraud, conspiracy, and attempted kidnapping." I watched them handcuff my brother, watched his face cycle through shock, rage, calculation. "This won't stick," he snarled as they led him out. "Sarah's unstable. She broke into a doctor's office. She's making false accusations. My lawyers will—" "We have your emails. We have payment records. We have your father's testimony. We have everything, Mr. Harrison. It's over." They arrested Dr. Brennan that afternoon, found files on 2 other elderly patients he'd diagnosed with fake dementia for money, a fraud network that had been running for 5 years. Dad spent 3 days in the hospital while they cleared the drugs from his system. I never left his side. On the 2nd day, he held my hand and said, "Thank you for believing me. Thank you for climbing out on that ledge, literally and figuratively. You're my dad. I'd do anything. Your mother would be proud." His eyes filled with tears. "I'm proud." The trial took 8 months. Marcus got 6 years in federal prison. Dr. Brennan got 10 and lost his medical license forever. Dad came back as CEO of Harrison Construction, ran it for 3 more years before officially retiring. 5 years later, we sat in his garden on a Sunday afternoon. "Marcus gets out next year," Dad said quietly. "He'll probably try to contact me." "What will you do?" Dad was quiet for a long time. "I'll tell him I forgive him because he's my son, but I'll never trust him again, and there's no amount of apology that erases what he tried to do." We sat there until sunset, and I thought about that midnight phone call, about climbing onto a ledge 3 stories up, about breaking the law to save someone you love, about how family isn't just blood, it's showing up when someone whispers your name in the dark and says, "Please, save me." Marcus was my brother by blood, but he stopped being family the moment he saw Dad as money instead of a person. And me? I learned that sometimes the bravest thing you can do is believe someone when everyone else calls them crazy, even if it means breaking into a building at 2 a.m., even if it means risking everything. Because that's what real family does. They show up, they believe, they fight, and they win.